G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Frontier Pilot Simulator with Mags. And by request, I'm going to bring this back and play it reasonably regularly on the channel. People seem to really enjoy it, and I'm glad you did, because it's a bit of fun to play. So anyways, before we go into our next flight, and I have been playing this a little bit since the last time I covered it, just because I couldn't put it down. I did get asked about the cockpits a few times in the last one. I didn't really show it off well enough. So this is the cockpit as it currently stands, to have a look around. Now, as you can see, I'm moving this around with a controller at the moment in order to be able to actually look around the cockpit. And this is the primary reason why I am not using the cockpit view. It's simply that I love flying from cockpit, but without TrackIR, this is a pain. As soon as TrackIR support is in, and some improvements to the controller support, in particular for HoTaS, or even without that, just still using the controller and TrackIR, I will fly from inside of this view, but it's just a bit awkward at this point, unfortunately. Anyways, so I have been doing, as I mentioned, a few flights since the last time I covered this. We're currently sitting on 21,800, so we're getting awfully close to having enough money to be able to actually buy ourselves a new ship. We're also, unfortunately, running out of goods that we can actually move, because there seems to be a production time on most of these, although we do have another 50 litres of water available here, which we can purchase for 1,000, and we can sell them off for 4,400 there. 2,900 there. Looks like 4,400 is probably our best for water, which isn't bad. 1 to 4, that would do us nicely. But I want to pick up something else first. So we've got passengers available up here at the research station at Borah, and a passenger over here at Nord. I think we'll head up to Borah first, because it's a bit of an interesting spot. Go and pick up our passenger from there, see where they want to go, deliver them to wherever it is that they want to go, and then we can nick down here, pick up this water and deliver it to the central station here. And then maybe 1 or 2 missions after that, we should have enough to get ourselves into a bigger ship and we can actually leave this island. So, let's fire it up. Now, the weather is still rather crap on the island at the moment. There are some severe storms. The cloud cover actually got really low before. Visibility around the tops of the mountains was near 0. Actually, we can load that up. I got a bit of a drift on here at the moment. We're going to have a little bit of turbulence as we're crossing over the bay area here. And we do have to be a little cautious around Borah itself, because Borah is a research station that sits next to a bunch of massive geysers. Yeah, this is a really shitty island at the moment. Sits next to a bunch of geysers just over here, so we've got to come around the back in order to get a nice comfortable landing zone. You can see some of them just there. And not get ourselves cooked by them on the way in. Whoa, 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 some drift. Fuel-wise, we're still good, so we shouldn't have to actually refuel here. I should just be able to land. Yeah, a little bit of lift here. And there is our passenger. So I won't put down on the landing pad here. We'll put down just a little bit further up. Little bit of a rough landing there, but yeah, could have been worse. Okay, where are we going? We're going to Nord. And that's the combination, so yes, we can go to Nord. Hurry up and get on board. 6.1 Ks. Oh. Make sure we don't slam it into the tower and we don't fly across the geysers. Alright, that should be good. I think we can turn this off for the moment. So yes, anyways, the as I said, we're still on the starting tutorial island, clearly trying to just get as much cash as we possibly can to get that big ship. Theoretically, it's possible for us to be able to make the flight into the inland areas without the ship, but it's not an easy flight, and I would like to start hauling cargo out to some of the islands as well. So the next ship up is about 24 or 25,000 credits, and I want to make sure I've got a little bit of a buffer there to pick up some decent cargo and for picking up a little bit of extra, a few upgrades for it if it's entirely possible. The next one after that's 160,000, and that is a fair monster of a machine. I've never actually flown that in-game yet, so that's going to be a little something that'll be fun for down the track. Beautiful, and we have a passenger here too, so... Ashton Central, you know what? Yes, we can do that, so you can get on board as we drop the last one off. The tops of the tower up there at the moment. Very nice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Drift into the mountain because of the winds here. I do need to keep an eye out for samples as well. The science base is now fully functional and they want deliveries for any samples that we can get our hands on, so there's free money to be made if I can find appropriate samples to deliver. Down to half a tank of fuel at this point, so we probably should start topping up. Okay, that's you delivered, mate. So you can hop out now. 733. It's not much in the way of money, but at least it's easy. Yeah, I actually want to try not to use that water. As I said, you can send stuff around and transport stuff around, but once you've moved it, it's not like there's an unlimited supply available at the point of origin. So if I move the 50 litres of water from here, I'll make a couple of grand moving it over to here. That's good. But then I have to wait for that water to rebuild back up again, where I can do my first flight with the upgraded ship, and we can go down here, and they'll pay 20 grand for that water, which is a hell of a lot more profit and immediately gets me into upgrades. So I think that'll be my first run. Biolocator 23 into 52. They'll pay 1,400, and we can buy the empty batteries here for 230. So that's probably our best bet, just small hops while we're having a look around otherwise. I'd like to know where to find some seaweed. And I'll pay 500 for any flora samples that we can find. Alright, so we'll set ourselves a nade point, because that's where I'm going to go anyway. We'll fire up the engines, just get ourselves over the landing pad over here so we can refuel and pick ourselves up some empty batteries to deliver. We're getting up to 3 arrows here in the turbulence, so this is actually getting a little bit stronger through here now. At the very least, the larger ship is a little bit, it can handle a little bit more in the way of turbulence, and it has a little bit more power, especially once you get the engine upgrades for it, so that becomes less of an issue. Because we're going to see a lot of that and worse as we start traveling away from this island. There are some pretty unpleasant places on this planet. There's a cargo box down there, I wonder. I wonder what that is. Forward. quickly recharge ourselves here. And G-type batteries at 4 tons, we can't move them, unfortunately. Probably best to not fly directly over where the passenger's standing. This is why, as a general rule, with giant jet-propelled VTOLs, it is not a wise idea to let the passenger stand at the landing pad. Alright, so where are we got you going? We've got to get to Bridge Point. Okay, yep. We can do Bridge Point, I think. I've got to remember where Bridge Point exactly is, but... Alright. Ah, Bridge Point, back where we took off from. Not a problem. Hopefully you pay more than 700 credits a pop for your flight too. They really use a little bit more. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hang on. What was that? And we have a sample. Excellent. Alright, so remember that one. It is on the south side of the volcano. I think that's the south side of the volcano anyway. So we'll drop this guy off at Bridge Point. We'll grab ourselves some fuel because we're nearly down to half a tank. And we'll pick that sample up and deliver it to the science station, and that'll give us a touch more cash. Down we go. The trick is finding the balance point in the throttle for the ship just to get it down. It's the same as, well, very similar to flying an actual VTOL, just finding that balancing point for your thrust and then manipulating around it from there. Now, this isn't exactly where I needed to go right now, but I'm here anyway. Wait, okay, that was exactly where I needed to go. Apparently dropping him off here is perfectly fine. Awesome. I thought I was going to have to go around to the actual passenger area, but apparently that's enough, and that was 1,000 for that one, so that's far more acceptable. Now, that sample. Alright. There is our sample. That looks like it's a much flatter spot. That'll be much easier to pick up that one. Oh. A little harsh on the landing, but we're where we need to be. Now, the sample only weighs 2 tons from the looks, so we should be fine. It's a little over half our maximum payload weight, so it'll make us a little heavy, but not too heavy, so our flight should be okay. Oh, and we are a little close to the volcano there, so let's not do that. The biggest issue is we're flying into the wind most of the way to the science station. We are 6 k's from. Borah is this way. the soft stuff behind this mountain. Cross over that ridge line and then come around the back, and we'll fly back into the hard stuff again, but at the very least we'll make some movement forward, and we should be descending then at 3 kilometers out. Yep, that worked. Actually, it's not too harsh over here. It's just on the down slope of the mountain. Just got to keep us floating and get around these guys, as the landing field is just over there. And there is another sample just below us at the moment. Actually, it's only 300 away, so we might have to go back there and get that. Landing fields on the landing pads on the other side, so we'll circle around the building and then bring her back. Sample of flora is done, and let's grab our recharge while we're here. Almost there, 29,000, and then we'll go and 29,000. We hit 30,000. We'll go and pick up our new ship. There it is. Got it. Harsh landing. Door. Close up that door now. Pretty sure we're actually heating ourselves up there off the edge of the volcano. Sample's heavy. No. Arrest that descent speed, and we want to climb. Come on, up over the ridgeline. This is not good. 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 Oh. Could have lost our ship then. Wings are 31%. Steering wheels are down at 62%. We're in desperate need of repairs, so we're going to be bringing this thing in broken. But that's fine. We'll be replacing it anyway. know she's a bit broken at the moment, but we can bring this down. We're good. Okay, landing wasn't bad that time. Just short of... Actually... Now that's interesting. The longer we sit here, the more this sample's worth. So what we're probably seeing is the rarity actually causing a change in credits. So we could sit here for as long as we felt like, until the credits for this got to a value that we were happy with. But I'm honestly happy with that right now, because that'll put me over 30. So now I can afford to ship some cargo and some upgrades. So I'll just recharge the tanks here for our last flight in this one before we upgrade. And set ourselves a waypoint down to Aslan so we can grab ourselves our new ship. And let's be on our way. Whoa, 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 whoa. That over-rotated quite a bit. I wonder if it's because of the wings down to 29%. I'm going to be having some pretty severe control issues here at the moment because of it. That's fine. Last flight. Let's do a bit of a rotation. Close enough. Alright, so that's out of there. Ships. So our next upgrade, 28,900. It's actually more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Negative 70,000. Trigger first stage A. We won't worry about that. We're going to go straight to the Ox. Variable sweep wing, 2 flight modes. So we actually have a flight mode and a hover mode. Maximum carry capacity 10,000 kilograms. So 10-ton carry weight. Perform well long distances and difficult flight conditions. Oh, I was sort of hoping we'd have an animation in there right now for the new one. Anyways, this is our new machine, and with trading, we've actually got 13,000 left over. So the very first thing we're going to do before anything else is taxi ourselves back around to that hangar so we can bolt some new engines and some long-range fuel tanks into this thing. Maybe upgrade the suspension a little bit. Alright, so we're in basic modification wing, baseline standard engines, Ox Origins chassis. So, no, we won't be on this for very long. We'll start off with, looks like Mongoose engines are still an upgrade. Not available for the current ship. No, they're not. Mule class, not available for the current ship. Suspension, not available. We can get the Colossus wing, so we get 20% wing lift. That's 10,000 credits to change the wings over. No engine upgrades here for our new ship. Hmm. 5,000 units on board. That's rather disappointing. I was sort of hoping we'd be able to get some more upgrades than that. Do a service and repair, it'll only cost us 1 credit anyway. sort of looks like... I'm not even sure how to describe the front of it, to be perfectly honest. Size-wise, if you actually measure it out though, the size of the cockpit versus the size of an individual, this thing is very close to the size of a C-130. So you're looking at a C-130 VTOL here. Anyways... Okay, so we have 50 litres of water, available items, it's 1,000 credits here, so that's going to be our first stop. And then, what are they paying for it? Still paying 20,000 credits, so 1,000 into 20. That is not a bad haul at all. I love the articulation of the engines on this one. Alright. And into flight mode. So now this acts more like an aircraft rather than a VTOL, and allows you to travel distances much easier, much more quickly. Ooh. Although I have gotten a little higher here than I would have liked, so I'm going to have to descend. Whoa. I am significantly higher than I would have liked. Yeah, that's where I want to land. I think I might have overdone this a little. Anyways, it allows you to travel larger distances more easily and more fuel with far higher fuel efficiency. But you lose the VTOL capability in the process, and you have to make the transition, which is, well, as you can see, it can be a little difficult. I probably, in hindsight, should have switched there. Ooh. Pad is over here. The landing gear is dropping out. The thrust isn't bad out of the stock engines, but the whole thing feels sluggish, although I suppose it should, considering the size of the bloody thing. Oh, 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 oh. Alright, that wasn't even close to where I needed to park, so we'll roll that back around, but once again, you got to get used to the engines, got to get used to the aircraft. It's they've done a pretty good job of making each machine feel a little unique, and it does take time to adjust. Alright, so we want to pick up some water, and while we're at it, we are going to recharge the batteries. Now this should be next to nothing for this thing. The weight should be negligible. Our last craft could actually carry this load, so... Alright, so our next destination is going to be here. Sees marked as unavailable according to the average fuel consumption of the maximum distance. Yeah, see, I don't believe that. I should be able to make that. Easily make that. Colossus wing I've already got. Yeah, I should be able to make that, I think. Let's find out. Alright, lift off and on to destination. And transition into flight mode. No, do not crash into the water, please. As we got the camera all wet there. Get ourselves some altitude here, see if we can find a nice jet stream that we can get into. Well, it might be right. We're down to nearly a quarter of a tank already. Oh, much smoother up here. No jet streams, unfortunately, in this direction. Unfortunately, we've lost navigation, but I should be able to hold. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to descend. We'll restore. Whoa, look at the turbulence down here. It's everywhere. Although it's only light, so we should be fine. Alright, nav is back up. We are 18 kilometers out. We are mostly fine. Maintaining, well, I'm dropping speed here a little bit at the moment, so I have to speed this up a little bit. 200 meters per second. I can see that volcano island up ahead. It's actually where we want to go. Ski background stable. Dangerous levels of radiation will be established above 3 kilometers. Okay, so let's make sure we are not above 3 kilometers, and we're not. We are only at 700 meters, so not a problem. We do not have to worry about the radiation up there. Right, I was not expecting the radar failure on the way in, but that was interesting to see. Dangerous level of radiation will be established above 3 kilometers. Okay, so just the same report. So these are the meteorological reports that are giving you information on what the hell is going on. We are going to make our transition back into VTOL now and start decelerating for our landing. The probability of reaching regular is 0%. It's right there. I'm about to land on it. Yes, 3 minutes of fuel left. I'm well aware. Does not matter. Whoa. Come on. Alright, so its calculations on exactly how far we can travel are obviously a little bit off as well. I'm going to have to get ourselves a little bit further forward, and then we'll do a rotation. Oh, rotated too far, too far, too far. Oh, alright, that was a little harsh. But there is a hangar here. I wonder if we've got some upgrades that would be suitable for a ship our size. And the sneaky answer there is, yes, there is absolutely an upgrade in that hangar for this machine. However, you'll have to wait till next episode to find out what that upgrade is. Hope you enjoyed the videos, guys, and thank you very much for watching. As always, check the video description down below for links to all my social media, my Discord, my Twitch, my Patreon, and my Subscribestar if you'd like to help support the channel directly. And if you'd like to check out any of the merch and designs, be sure to check out the Magswear store. I actually have 4 new designs that should be going up within the next few days. So be sure to check out the store if you're interested in any new World War II themed gear. And as always, remember to click that like button if you did, leave a comment down below, share and subscribe if you would like to see more. And I don't mention this all that often, but remember to hit that little bell icon if you want to make sure YouTube actually notifies you. YouTube has this bad habit of just not letting people know that videos are going up across the board with most content creators at the moment. So if you want to make sure you get the videos, hit the bell. And until next time, take care.